Plus,
so you could go from warm and wet to cold and dry in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks.
Experts expect a warmer winter than normal. And in sports, Ohio prepares for the 100th edition of the Battle of the Bricks. Newswatch starts right now.
You're taking a live look at day 2 of the Circleville Pumpkin Show, which some believe will be another record-setting year despite challenges because of this year's drought. Last year's show had Ohio's heaviest pumpkin ever, and this year's pumpkin is already weighing in at over 2,000 pounds. The Circleville Pumpkin Show runs through Saturday and is open from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m.
Good evening. I'm Megan Kaczynski.
And I'm Jack Green. Welcome to Newswatch. Southeast Ohio is seeing some fall chills and the pumpkin show's going on.
Yeah. Our weather forecaster, Rachel Grant, is here to tell us if that's going to continue. Rachel, are we going to see a warm-up anytime soon?
We will be seeing a warm-up. We're expecting 70s to kick off our weekend and continue into next week.
Great festival weather.
Yes, absolutely. And no chance of rain either.
Even better.
Yes. So we are seeing 3 high-pressure systems developing around us, and that's really what's given us lots of sunshine and these clear skies and not a lot of rain to see either. And of course, look at what we're seeing on the radar. Not even seeing some cloud developments. No rain, no showers, just crystal clear skies and lots of sunshine. Along with the sunshine, we'll be seeing along the warmer side for our temps. 60 degrees outside now and crystal clear conditions. As for tonight, we won't be seeing any clouds whatsoever with that low of 35 degrees. And because this low is so low, we'll actually be under a frost advisory, especially those surrounding the area of Athens. So make sure to bring any plants that are sensitive indoors, but no need to worry about that for our weekend at all. Tomorrow we'll be having a high of 68 degrees to kick off our weekend. We'll talk more about what to expect for over the weekend in my full weather forecast. For now, we're going back to Jack.
Thanks, Rachel. Hunters in Ohio can now add pheasants to the list of game birds they can hunt. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Wildlife will release 14,000 ring-necked pheasants in public hunting areas later this month. Pheasants will be released at Tri-Valley, Pheasant Valley, Salt Fork, and the Appalachian Hills Wildlife Area. Releases will start this Saturday. A valid hunting license is required to hunt pheasants and other game birds. For more information, that can be found at the website on your screen.
People who cast an early vote today but die tomorrow can still get their ballot counted. Ohio's Secretary of State Frank LaRose says once a ballot has been validated, it's hard to undo. That's because identification is only used during the casting part. Once the ballot has been submitted, it's separated identifying information to keep the vote private. The general rule of thumb is if you were alive to cast the ballot, then it counts if you die. Early voting in Ohio is in progress and the data is rolling in. The Ohio Secretary of State's website says if 1 million absentee ballots are requested, 10% have been returned. As of yesterday morning, over 200,000 Ohioans voted early in person. For ballots by party affiliation, over 150,000 Republicans and over 100,000 Democrats have cast ballots so far. Unaffiliated voters have cast about 165,000 ballots. The Secretary of State's office said 3 Ohio voters registered with minor parties requested absentee ballots, but as of yesterday had not returned them. Today, Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose announced the launch of a project that would change the way citizens get data from their local Board of Elections. This project is designed to increase transparency and confidence in our elections. This new data dashboard offers Ohioans with a more detailed look at daily absentee and early voting for the 2024 general election. In addition to statewide data, this dashboard displays county-level data from all 88 county boards of elections. If you're interested in taking a look at the dashboard, you can head to the Ohio Secretary of State's website.
A suspect is in custody after allegedly trying to meet up with what he thought was an underage girl in Lancaster. But that girl was not real, just a decoy account set up by a nonprofit, Bikers Against Predators. The group creates the decoy underage accounts on Facebook. It contacted Lancaster police last month and provided documentation of its interactions with 50-year-old Gary Lee Skinner. According to the police report, Skinner was allegedly trying to meet up with the girl to have sex with her. Skinner is being held in Fairfield County Jail.
Israeli forces in Gaza killed Hamas's leader Yahya Sinwar. He helped organize the attack on Israel last year. During a battle yesterday, Israel's troops overlooked Sinwar during combat and found his body in rubble. Sinwar has been #1 on Israel's most wanted list since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. Sinwar's death was confirmed today after several DNA tests. Israel's Foreign Minister Katz says this is a moral and military achievement.
The family of Jalen Walker, a man killed during a traffic stop 2 years ago, has reached a settlement with the city of Akron. Walker was killed during a traffic stop in 2022 after he fired one bullet from his vehicle before running from officers. His gun was left in his car. His family filed a wrongful death lawsuit in June 2023 seeking $45 million in damages from officers involved in the shooting, officials and the city. Walker's family said officers used excessive force and participated in a culture of racism in the Akron Police Department. People with student loan debt are in luck as more relief rolls in. President Biden approved another $4.5 billion of student loan forgiveness. This latest round will affect over 60,000 public sector workers, including teachers, nurses, and firefighters. Borrowers qualify for debt relief through the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Since taking office, President Biden has canceled more than $175 billion of debt for about 5 million people. That's about 11% of all outstanding federal student loan debt.
Weekly jobless claims fell last week. The federal government reports first-time applications for unemployment benefits decreased by almost 20,000. This comes despite the damage caused by hurricanes Helene and Milton, which economists expected would increase claims. Ohio also saw a drop in initial jobless claims. The report from the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services also saw a drop in over 2,000 claims from the week before. Meanwhile, continuing claims filed for at least 2 weeks are still on the rise. Mortgage rates are on the rise for the third week in a row. The Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation says this week's average rate, a standard 30-year mortgage, was 6.44%. Rates are now well above the 2-year low as seen last month. Economists said higher rates reflect strength in the economy, notable in the housing market. Mortgage rates are still more than 1 percentage point lower compared to a year ago.
Coming up, a warmer winter wonderland. What experts have to say.
And make sure to check your fridge. A meat recall could be hiding in your dinner.
We're seeing lots of sunshine now, but will that continue into the weekend? Stay tuned to see my 4 the forecast when Newswatch returns.
On Secrets of the Dead, the search for the final resting place of members of the 5th United States Colored Cavalry.
There was never any effort to identify what happened to those men because they were colored troops.
In this one spot, there was a cross, and it said Civil War Burial Mound.
They weren't citizens, but they were willing to fight for this country.
The Civil War's Lost Massacre on Secrets of the Dead.
Wednesday at 10 on WOUB.
Understanding the past gives a sense of the future. This is the first time that anyone has seen this in 2,000 years.
This is amazing.
Well, I'm excited now.
Pompeii is a battle against time.
You think I'm joking, but look at this. It did really happen.
Don't let anybody tell you who you are.
History teaches us to honor the past.
When you look back, you're like, wow, that was pretty special.
This is something that's actually altering the course of history.
You're charged with keeping these stories alive.
Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Rachel Grant, and today we had a wonderful day for weather. We saw lots of high-pressure systems developing near us, and we're now sitting at 3. That's what's helping give us lots of sunshine, these clear skies, and these warmer temps. Looking a closer look at our radar, we're really not seeing much. Not even seeing any cloud developments, no rain, no showers, just lots and lots of sunshine. And with that, we're also seeing on the warmer side of fall. Athens in a 63, Lancaster 79, same with Zanesville, so more on the warmer side for this fall season. But that will be the continuing pattern for this weekend. Today we had a high of 60 degrees and sunny skies, and these clear skies will be continuing into tonight with that low of 35 degrees. And with this low actually being so low, most of us in the surrounding area of Athens are under some frost advisories. This will be in effect from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. overnight going into tomorrow morning. If you have any outdoor plants that are super sensitive, any indoor plants near a windowsill, or any pumpkins, regardless if they're carved or not, tonight's a good night to bring them in and protect them from the cold. But no need to worry about the cold for tomorrow. We're seeing a high of 68 degrees to kick off our weekend and sunny skies. Here's what we're expecting a little bit more in detail for our Friday. We're seeing 2 high-pressure systems developing, one near us and one to the north of us. These will be working together to help continue to bring us lots of sunshine and clear skies. As for tomorrow night, we'll be seeing these high-pressure systems shifting to the north, and we're seeing one staying a little bit closer to us. But regardless, we're still going to be seeing lots and lots of sunshine. We have one high-pressure system developing on Saturday near us and another one developing closer to Pennsylvania. But again, these will help provide some consistency for us with lots of sunshine and these warmer temps. Here's our 3-day outlook for the weekend. High of 68 for tomorrow, with lots of sunshine. As for Saturday, we're still seeing sunshine, maybe a few clouds here or there, but we'll catch a break from the clouds on Sunday with a high of 73 degrees. And as for Monday to kick off next week, we're seeing a little bit more consistency, a high of 75 degrees. And that will stay the same really all throughout Wednesday. Might be seeing a couple of clouds on Tuesday going into Wednesday, but we'll surely catch a break from that on Wednesday. As for Thursday, we'll see a little bit of a dip in temps, high of 70 for Thursday, and a little bit of clouds here or there, but regardless, still plenty of sunshine for our weekend and going into next week. So surely not going to see we're surely not going to feel anything like fall over the next week, but still on the warmer side, we're seeing lots of warmer side and lots of sunshine for our weekend and next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy that, we went from, earlier this week it was almost like freezing. I mean, I remember we had a freeze warning, and now we're talking about almost like late summer weather.
Yes, it's insane. We started out this morning all the way. I was chilly walking to class, and now we're hopping up all the way to the 60s, kick off the weekend. But I'm excited. I am a fan of summer weather, but
yeah, I mean, it's nice, but it makes you wonder, what's winter going to be like?
Yeah.
So, speaking of winter, it's coming, but how will it feel? Experts say it could be a little warmer this year because of an incoming storm. Mabel Gonzalez has more.
This winter could look a little different than the last one.
Overall, we are expecting warmer than normal temperatures across the southern tier of the country.
Last year, the natural climate pattern known as El Niño, in addition to warming due to fossil fuel pollution, brought warmer winters in the south and cooler ones in the north, with less snow in much of the northeast and Midwest. This year, its counterpart, La Niña, could bring a warmer and drier south and a wetter north.
Above normal temperatures are more likely across the southern tier of the country, also northward along the eastern seaboard, with below normal temperatures favored for parts of the northern Rockies and northern plains.
But no 2 La Niña winters are the same, and their strength matters. The Climate Prediction Center forecasts this one to be a weaker event.
We would expect a more variable weather pattern. So you could go from warm and wet to cold and dry in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks.
And while El Niño and La Niña climate patterns help give us a good idea of what to expect, experts like Peter Goebel, climatologist at Colorado State University, says Mother Nature will have the ultimate say.
I like to use the analogy with El Niño, La Niña of it's like playing a game of cards or poker with a few extra aces in the deck, you might have an idea of how the deck is stacked, but it doesn't mean you know exactly what hand you're going to get.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Experts are also worried about a weak La Nina, which could cause drier than normal conditions. That could put extra stress on areas already dealing with drought. Election day is 3 weeks away, and the race for the White House is heating up. The Democratic nominee Kamala Harris had a heated interview with Fox News yesterday. The interview hit a climax over recent comments from former President Donald Trump that his political rivals are, quote, the enemy within the U.S. Though his comments were not played during the interview with Harris.
You and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest.
Just 3 weeks before Election Day, Democratic nominee Vice President Kamala Harris sat down for a contentious interview with Fox News, which is what we just said. The vice president sparring with anchor Bret Baier over border security for nearly half of the 27-minute interview.
The Bruce Pack meat recall expands. Ready-to-eat meat producer Bruce Pack has expanded all of its meat and poultry products from last week to 12 million recalls. Now, the U.S. Department of Agriculture said routine testing found listeria in the food. The recalled Bruce Pack products include salads, wraps, pasta bowls, burritos, enchiladas, and many frozen family meals. The affected products were shipped to restaurants, grocery stores, schools, and institutions nationwide. The USDA said it will post a school distribution list on its website once one is available. The new federal safety standards will prevent infant deaths. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on the new rule and how officials hope it will save lives.
The safest space for a baby to sleep is on a flat, bare surface. Placing products in a child's dedicated sleeping space can be dangerous, even deadly.
We're trying to prevent those deaths and injuries from occurring.
Between 2010 and 2022, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission linked infant support cushions to 79 infant deaths and 124 injuries. Most were younger than 3 months old, and the CPSC says a majority of the deaths involve the cushion being placed in a sleep setting. The products include infant loungers, pillows for positioning, tummy time, nursing, and lounging, as well as stuffed toys, pads, and mats.
So important to make sure these products are only used while your baby is awake for tummy time activities and while the parent is aware and right there with the baby at all times.
In an effort to prevent these deaths and serious injuries, the CPSC has approved new federal mandatory standards aimed at reducing risk of suffocation, entrapment, and falls. The new rule will require products to undergo firmness testing and sidewall angle testing. The maximum incline angle will no longer be allowed to exceed 10 degrees. The use of infant restraints will also be prohibited, as officials say they give a false sense of safety for babies to be left unattended. And a strongly worded on-product warning label will now be required.
Make sure you have a product that meets those requirements.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Next in sports, Athens volleyball is facing an eligibility issue. Plus, the Battle of the Bricks week is here as Ohio and Miami get ready for their 100th meeting all time.
There's a whole life out there just waiting for you.
I think I don't actually give my therapist enough credit.
I know now that medication is necessary.
You think you can love it out of them, that will fix it. No, it doesn't.
People do overcome having a mental illness.
I am bipolar. This is okay. I'm just me.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
Making pennies on the dollar. A recent film school grad speeds through Tokyo on a delivery bike.
奨学金という名の借金もまだ1円も返していないのに俺は稼がなきゃいけない。お母さんも具合悪くなっちゃって。
A comedic but sobering reflection on the inequities of the gig economy. Tokyo Uber Blues on POV.
Monday at 10 on WOUB.
In the beginning,
There have always been those of us looking for stories.
This is a huge moment.
I feel like there's nothing around that can stop me.
It's your being. It's who you are.
We need to do something to make a change.
I know that there are people like me out there.
We need to have a voice.
It's what you do next that matters.
You start to discover a deeper part of yourself.
My whole world changed instantly.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Andrew Bowlby. There's a major story tonight in the TVC Ohio volleyball. A paperwork error could cost the Athens Bulldogs their conference title. The Ohio High School Athletic Association tells WOUB they are working with schools. It's hard for Ohio to forget what happened in the 2020 with a player's eligibility, but declined to speak any further. Sources familiar with the situation say the issue stems from a paperwork for a key player who transferred to the team this season. They say the team could have to forfeit games that the student played in. The player will not be able to participate for the rest of the season. WOUB reached out to Athens High School Athletic Director for comment, but has not heard back. The Bulldogs play in the district semifinals tonight, and it is unclear now how this could impact their playoff run. Ohio and Miami's historic rivalry on the gridiron began in the 1908 season. 116 years later, the Battle of the Bricks will play its 100th chapter on Saturday, with the green and white seeking revenge. It's hard for Ohio to forget what happened in the 2023 edition of the Battle of the Bricks.
That left a sour taste in our mouth. I've probably watched the 2023 game probably upwards of 10 times.
The Bobcats' explosive offense was held in check. After putting up 9 points on the board in the opening quarter, the momentum swung dramatically in favor of the Redhawks. Miami controlled every aspect of the game, racking up 30 unanswered points.
I tip my hat to Coach Martin, and last year, hey, they got after us and out executed us. It's plain and simple. You know, no turnovers, field position on special teams. I mean, they was a clinic.
Ohio's late score in the fourth was far too little too late. To this day, Miami is the only team to defeat Ohio at home in the past 2 seasons.
If we won that game, that was our only loss on our side of the division, and that was our ticket to the MAC championship. So, I took that game really personal. So getting back at this game is really personal for me.
Miami went to the MAC title game and came away victorious, something that the Bobcats have been reminded of this week. After someone put up MAC championship posters in different parts of Peden, there's one place you won't find those signs.
We have a rule in our locker room, no red in the locker room. So, when they got a bunch of Miami signs, especially that MAC championship Miami sign, that really sparks a fire for me. I hate seeing all those Miami signs, especially that red, that ugly red. So, I don't wear red, I don't own red.
This weekend, Ohio is looking to flip the script. Prior to the 2023 loss, the Bobcats had tilted the rivalry in their favor, winning 7 of the last 10 games, and their record on the road is equally dominant, winning 6 of 8 since 2006. It may be tough, but Tim Albin says for Ohio to get its revenge, the Bobcats have to take out the emotion and focus on execution.
Emotion is not going to win the game. Execution is.
We have a winning culture. We're really looking forward to another opportunity against them. Don't want to wish time away, but I can't wait for Saturday.
Over to Ohio soccer, who just wrapped up a conference game against Toledo, falling 1-0. The Bobcats fired off 8 shots against the Rockets this afternoon. However, Toledo keeper Agnes Stenland stood tall, making every save required. The lone goal of the match came in the 40th minute off the foot of Brooklyn Whitehead. Ohio's loss snaps an 11-game unbeaten streak dating back to late August.
Still ahead, what one zoo did for its oldest penguin.
This year, Gridiron is back and better than ever with our 25th season.
I'm your host, Haley Hollinger.
And I'm your digital host, Donovan Barney. Throughout the week, make sure to tune into our Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube for game preview segments on the pregame huddle. If you still can't get enough high school football, check out our Instagram and TikTok for more weekly content.
And of course, we'll see you right here every Friday night at 11:30 p.m. because there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
It's in our blood.
It is living your culture to create.
The soul, that energy, it's me.
The Cartober fundraising drive is on. Help give back this month by donating your used car, truck, RV, or boat to our station. Donating is easy and it's tax deductible. Just call this toll-free number. Schedule your free pickup, we'll tow it and give you a donation receipt. Can't donate a car? Spread the word by telling your friends or family. Learn more by calling this toll-free number or visiting us online.
You were my #1 suspect. Glad to hear it.
You think you know a little more than you're telling us. Just build up the tension even more.
If you insist.
What I've got to do is going to tear me apart.
You helped us get to the truth.
Whatever happened here, it wasn't what we think. We're searching for a killer.
Hidden threat. Betrayal. There's got to be a connection.
Sunday on WOUB.
The Gentoo penguin usually lives around 13 years, but one penguin named Bridget is proving that wrong. Bridget is 37 years old and lives in Kansas City. She got a new present from her zookeepers to help celebrate. Chandler Watkins has more.
She is a 37-year-old Gentoo. She is one of 3 of 37 that we have, so they're amongst the oldest in the country.
To put that into perspective, in the wild, penguins typically have a life expectancy of 15 years. Because of her age, Bridget began having spinal issues, which prevented her from preening her feathers to keep her warm and waterproof. So zookeepers designed Bridget a custom wetsuit, a first for this zoo. While it may take a second to put it on,
Bridget, she's a spicy old lady.
Whitney Gesloas, a senior care specialist at the zoo, says it's really helping.
She moves around really well. You can see she's able to move her wings up and down. She swims in it. There, she just got out. She'll walk and play in the snow in it, so she's able to be very mobile in it.
The zoo posted several photos of Bridget in her wetsuit, enjoying the snow and life with all the other penguins at the zoo.
All these penguins are very special to all of us, so we do our very best for each individual case.
What a cute little story, yeah. I mean, but it's not penguin weather here.
No, it's not.
It's about to get hot.
Yes, we're going to see some consistency in the 70s, which is not penguin friendly at all.
Not at all. So poor Bridget would get a little too warm, don't you say?
Yeah, for sure.
So what's it looking like this weekend?
We're going to be seeing a little of consistency, high of 73 for our weekend and 75 for the start of next week. Lots of sunshine and no chance of rain.
Gosh, I mean, that's nice. No rain at all. I mean, sunny skies, you can ask for a better weekend.
It's going to be perfect for the football game on Saturday,
Hey,
Ohio,
Miami.
I know.
Wasn't excited.
Hey, if Miami does not, if Athens or Ohio does not pull out a win this weekend, I'm going to be a little upset.
That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.